tere tulemast Eestisse. You heard me right. That's how one says hello in Estonia. Well, actually, it means welcome to Estonia. But fear not, they speak English with reckless abandon here in lovely Tallinn. Most people think of Florida or Spain for retirement. But in 2026, a tiny Baltic nation just took the #1 spot in the world. This is Tallinn, Estonia. It's a fairy tale medieval city that's secretly the most digitally advanced country on Earth. And it's where your retirement budget finally buys you a 22nd century lifestyle. If you've been looking for a retirement destination that is 100% digital, incredibly safe, and surprisingly affordable, you might have just found your new home. In this video, I'm going to show you why Tallinn is the safest capital in Europe, how their e-residency is a game changer for your investments, and the exact dividend yield you need to live in a luxury apartment in the Rotermann quarter. If you hate bureaucracy and love technology, you need to see this. Tallinn is a city of two halves. You have the Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that looks like a movie set. Then, 10 minutes away, you have the Rotermann quarter, ultra-modern, sleek, and filled with the best restaurants in the Baltics, like 2 Michelin star-rated 180 Degrees by Matthias Dieter, or Harg, which among several other Tallinn restaurants received the Bib Gourmand Award for quality and value. So what does the E in Estonia stand for? Firstly, everything here is paperless. You can do your taxes in 5 minutes and see a doctor with almost zero wait time. But to understand Tallinn, you have to understand its resilience. For centuries, this was a Hanseatic trading powerhouse, surviving empires and occupations while keeping its medieval heart perfectly intact. When you walk through the cobblestones of the Old Town, you're walking through 800 years of history. But don't let the stone towers fool you. After regaining independence in 1991, Estonia didn't just rebuild. They leapfrogged the rest of the world. They chose to build a society on code. This isn't just about fast internet. It's about a future where your physical location no longer dictates your administrative burden. In Tallinn, the past is preserved in stone, but the future is being written in silicon. For a retiree, that means less time at a government desk and more time in a world-class gallery, or for a digital nomad, that means more time networking in what some call the Silicon Valley of the EU, and less worry about staying compliant with your company. Let's talk numbers, because while Tallinn's digital efficiency is world-class, the math works differently here than in Spain. Tallinn occupies a unique space in 2026. While it is the most expensive city in the Baltics, it remains a massive bargain compared to Western European capitals. Housing is the most significant part of your budget, but the value is high. A modern one-bedroom apartment in premium areas like the Rotermann quarter or the waterfront Noblessner typically ranges from 600 to 900 euros per month. 2-bedroom apartments in these same sought-after districts generally fall between 850 and 1,200 euros. If you move slightly away from the historic core into the greener, quieter streets of Kristiine or the academic hub of Mustamäe, prices for a quality one-bedroom can drop to between 450 and 600 euros per month, all while keeping your high-speed fiber connection. Grocery costs in Estonia have risen due to a VAT increase to 24% in 2025. Expect to spend 350 to 500 euros per month for a high-quality grocery budget. This includes a mix of local markets for fresh produce and supermarkets like Selver or Rimi for staples. Estonia's healthcare is a standout for efficiency. Foreign retirees can access the public health insurance system by paying a voluntary premium, which in 2026 is approximately 170 euros per month. If you prefer private expat insurance for your initial visa, basic plans start around 50 euros, while comprehensive coverage typically ranges from 100 to 300 euros per month. Utilities and digital life.
This is where the Baltic location matters.
Because of the heating requirements in winter, total utilities for a standard apartment average 150 to 250 euros per month. However, your digital life remains affordable. A high-speed fiber internet and mobile bundle usually totals just 40 to 60 euros per month. Transportation is where you save the most. Once you are a registered resident of Tallinn, all city buses, trams, and trolleys are completely free. For non-residents, a 30-day pass is only 30 euros. Most retirees find they can easily live without the expense of a car. Dining is a social centerpiece. A 3-course meal for 2 at a mid-range restaurant typically costs 60 euros. For your monthly budget, a mix of casual cafes and frequent social dining usually totals 300 to 450 euros. The total all-in, a comfortable high-tech retirement in Tallinn generally ranges from 1,570 to 2,490 euros per month, depending on your lifestyle and housing choice. That places Tallinn slightly above Valencia, but notably more affordable than Malaga or Barcelona. especially when you factor in the €776 monthly tax exemption for retirees and the zero-cost public transit. Now, let's talk about the one thing that keeps most retirees awake at night: healthcare. In the US, we're used to a mountain of paperwork and weeks of waiting. But in Estonia, healthcare has been disrupted by the same digital DNA that runs their banks. Here's the secret: 99% of all health data in Estonia is digitized and stored on the blockchain. That means no matter which doctor you see in Tallinn, they have your full history instantly. But the real magic for a retiree? Digital prescriptions. Your doctor sends it to a central system, and you can pick it up at any pharmacy in the country just by showing your ID. As a legal resident, you'll have access to the national health insurance, Tervisekassa. But many expats choose private top-up insurance for convenience and peace of mind. The costs are roughly $60 to $200 a month for premium coverage that gets you into world-class facilities like the East Tallinn Central Hospital. In Tallinn, your healthcare is as digital as your bank account. If you have the state insurance combined with a private top-up, you get the best of both worlds. You can see your family doctor for €0, but if you need a specialist right now, your private cover lets you skip the queue at a luxury clinic for the price of a coffee. And because 99% of health data is on the blockchain here, you never have to explain your medical history twice. It is healthcare that actually respects your time. In 2026, healthcare here isn't just a safety net. It's a high-speed service that respects your time as much as your health. Oh, and yes, when necessary, they do house calls too. A day in the life here doesn't start with a rush, it starts with a Nordic flow. Most retirees in Tallinn begin their morning in the Kalamaja district. This was once a closed industrial zone, but today it is a neighborhood of colorful, historic wooden houses and the city's best artisan bakeries. By 9 in the morning, you're at Baltic market. It's not just a grocery stop, it's a social hub where you can find everything from organic Estonian honey to hand-knitted woolens. You grab a coffee, typically around €3.50, and head toward the old town. You enter through the Viru gate, and the world shifts. This is one of the best preserved medieval cities in Europe. You'll spend your late morning walking the Pikuli viewing platform for that iconic view of the spires against the Baltic Sea. You aren't just a tourist here, you're a local. You stop by Majasmak, the oldest cafe in the country, where they've been serving marzipan and pastries since 1864. Lunch is a business lunches special, a common Estonian tradition where even high-end restaurants offer a 2-course meal for about €10 to €12. Afternoons are for the Digital Republic perks. Maybe you spend an hour at the Kadriorg Art Museum, or take a free tram ride out to the Noblessner seafront to watch the sunset over the shipyard-turned-luxury plaza. Dinner is often in the Telliskivi Creative City. This is the heart of Tallinn's modern pulse. Think industrial chic restaurants like Foon, where the food is Nordic-inspired and the atmosphere is effortlessly cool. But here is a local tip for your evening walk. In Estonia, it is actually the law to wear a small reflector on your coat at night. It's a quirky detail, but it's a symbol of how much this country values safety and order. As you safely walk home under the streetlights, the city is remarkably quiet. Estonians value their silence. And for a retiree, that peace is a luxury you didn't know you were missing. Want to estimate whether Tallinn fits your retirement budget? Visit StockFocus.com to use our free retirement calculator and interactive city cost map, personalized for your income, savings, and lifestyle goals. To live a comfortable life in Tallinn on a budget of €2,500 per month, which is about $3,000 how much do you actually need in the bank? If you follow the classic 4% rule, you would need a total investment portfolio of €750,000, or roughly $900,000. This strategy is designed to let you withdraw that €30,000 annually while keeping your principal intact for 30 years or more. But here's where the math gets exciting for the average retiree. You likely aren't relying on your portfolio alone. If you have a social security check or a pension bringing in €1,500 a month, your funding gap drops to only €1,000. To cover that remaining €1,000 using the 4% rule, you only need a portfolio of €300,000, which is about $360,000. However, you would also need to consider the income tax depending on how the income is received, and for that, I would recommend talking with a tax professional. Estonia has some very interesting tax laws regarding companies, which could be the topic for its own video. By layering your guaranteed income with a modest dividend or index fund portfolio, the dream of retiring in a high-tech European capital becomes accessible to a much wider range of people. You don't need to be a millionaire to live like one in Tallinn. You just need to understand how to bridge the gap. So, is Tallinn, Estonia the right fit for your retirement? If you're looking for year-round tropical heat or a bustling, loud social scene like you might find in Barcelona, this probably isn't it. But if you value safety, air quality, and a society that operates with digital precision, Tallinn is effectively the world champion in 2026. It's for the retiree who wants to live in the future while being surrounded by the past. The visa roadmap. Now, how do you actually make the move? Since Estonia doesn't have a specific retirement visa title, you'll likely follow the D visa path. Step 1. Apply for a long-stay visa at your nearest Estonian embassy. This gives you 1 full year to live in the country. Step 2. Once you're on the ground, you can apply for a temporary residence permit for settling permanently. To qualify in 2026, you'll need to show a stable legal income, like your pension or dividend portfolio, and have that comprehensive health insurance we discussed earlier. The long game. After 5 years on a temporary permit, you can apply for permanent residency. Just keep in mind that for the permanent status, you'll eventually need to pass a basic Estonian language exam at the A2 or B1 level. These are basic knowledge levels, and the language and culture courses are free. This has been a deep dive into a city that is truly like nowhere else on Earth. I'm Penelope from StockFocus.com. Our goal is to help you find the intersection of a great lifestyle and smart financial arbitrage. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And let us hear from you. What city should we cover next? Is there a hidden gem on your radar that we haven't touched yet? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, järgmise korrani.